Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, continuing with the nice conditions out there this morning with generally mostly sunny skies and seeing those temperatures right in the mid 70s with a slight breeze out of the south-southwest. Overall, we'll see a nice and quiet weather day ahead with a slight breeze developing, particularly as we get later in the afternoon. But we'll have a boundary moving into the area as we move into our day tomorrow. It's going to bring likely chance for some rain showers pushing through the area. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, the periphery of this high pressure is still in control over the local area, bringing the nice conditions today with a turn towards more southerly winds as that area of high pressure moves off to the east ahead of this cold front that is off to our west and northwest. Again, as mentioned, that will be approaching the area over the next 24 hours and bring in some shower activity out ahead and along that boundary. And then on the backside, we'll see a return to more seasonably cooler conditions as we move into the remainder of the work week. Looking at our current visible satellite, we can see there's mostly sunny skies, a few clouds just off to our west and northwest, and then much more in the way of cloud cover further off to the west. And that will gradually be moving into the area as that boundary approaches over the next 24 hours. We'll look at the European model here for what we can expect for the next several days. Again, as mentioned, nice conditions as we move through the day today. Dry, no precipitation or lightning expected, and generally mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions. Clouds on the increase ahead of that boundary, and then as we move into the early morning hours of Wednesday, we'll start to pick up our first chances of a few light rain showers pushing through the area, with those rain showers becoming likely. As we push into the start of our working hours on Wednesday, it does look like we'll see some fairly persistent on and off rain showers through much of the working hours on Wednesday, with things starting to move out of the area with the boundary actually pushing through later in the afternoon or early evening time frame, possibly seeing rain ending as early as the end of the working hours, normal working hours, otherwise just after. As we move into our Wednesday evening, we will see some slightly breezy conditions ahead out of the southwesterly direction with that boundary pushing through, but a bit more gusty as we get on the backside of that front, with those winds shifting more northerly and eventually becoming northeasterly as we move into the day on Thursday as high pressure builds into our northwest. It's going to keep that pressure gradient fairly tight as we move through Thursday with some slightly breezy conditions expected. And we'll see a slight breeze continue as we move into Friday, and generally we'll see this wind onshore as we move through the remainder of the week and moving into the weekend. We continue to see some uncertainty as we move through our weekend forecast here, with that coastal area of low pressure developing off the southeast coast. Still quite a spread of outcomes possible with the modeling, a bit spread with which way and this area of low pressure decides to go as we move towards particularly the end of the weekend. It does look a bit drier for our Saturday with the latest modeling, but nonetheless it does look fairly confident we will see some fairly breezy conditions starting on Saturday, breezy to windy conditions as we move through the weekend here. The general uncertainty will be the exact tract of this area of low pressure, how close it comes to the local area. As you'll see here, the European model has it stalling just to our south and then moving inland as we move into the remainder of the weekend. But again, other tracks do have that coming further up the coast or staying further off the coast. So looks likely we'll see breezy conditions as we move through the weekend, and then generally seeing our best chance of more widespread rain on Sunday, but could continue to see some changes with this as we still have quite a bit of uncertainty with this area of low pressure. So looking at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, seeing green conditions through our working hours today, expecting a high around 77 degrees. And we'll see those winds turning southerly, peaking around 9 to 14 knots, with peak gusts up around 20 knots later this afternoon. And we'll keep those slightly breezy conditions as we move through the overnight time frame, with the winds generally southerly and then turning more southwesterly as we move into the start of the day on Wednesday. We'll see increasing clouds. We pick up our first risk for precip as we pass the midnight time frame, or in particular past the 2 a.m. time frame, where we introduce that yellow risk for precip, and then increasing to an orange risk as we move into the start of the day on Wednesday, with those light rain showers becoming likely. Tides are running normal, and for our Wednesday, we'll see cloudy and rain showers fairly persistent. Will be a bit more in the way of moderate rain showers pushing through the area on Wednesday, possibly a few heavier rain showers or a slight chance of an embedded thunderstorm within that activity. So we do have a yellow risk for that lightning chance, with a red risk for precip, with that rain being likely, and a yellow risk for reduced ceilings and visibilities with that activity pushing through. We do have a yellow risk as well for possibility of seeing a wind advisory with some slightly breezy conditions ahead of the boundary, but a better chance of that, particularly as we get on the backside of the boundary with those gustier winds out of the northwest as that rain starts to end later in the day and into the evening time frame. Our overall high will be around 73 degrees earlier ahead of that boundary. As we move into Wednesday evening, we'll see temperatures cooling down to 50 degrees, so cooler air moving in. We'll see partly cloudy and mostly clear conditions, and keeping a slight breeze through the evening. But overall, looking at green conditions for our weather risk, and we'll introduce a yellow risk for those winds that are above 25 knots once again on Thursday, as we'll see some slightly breezy winds out of the northeast. But overall, mostly sunny and seeing some clouds at times, but cooler weather with a high expected just around 64 degrees. We'll see that continue as we move into the extended forecast here, keeping those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Through the remainder of the 7-day forecast, we'll see cloudier conditions for Friday. Likely see those clouds stick around as that area of low pressure develops and continues to linger around the region. Moving through our weekend forecast here, have changed our probabilities for precip quite a bit down for Saturday to just a slight chance, looking at 20% chance for Saturday, but nonetheless going to see some breezy conditions. Sunday looks to be the windiest day at this time, and the better day of seeing some more widespread rain, but again, still expecting some fluctuation with this as we move towards the end of the week, and then seeing a chance of rain continue as we move into Monday, and some breezy conditions continuing as well. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.